No, this is something that we just gonna have to do. It's something
Right.
we just gonna have to do. Um, Go ahead and do your thing on your Facebook.
All right.
So whenever he link in, we just put him in. Uh, so we already live, dude. So go ahead and do
Oh,
your thing.
okay. That's what's up.
Facebook family. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. YouTube family. It's been a minute. So it's gonna be kind of interesting. Depends on how people take it. Um, well, we really don't care, but I mean, we just do what we do. Um, it's been a minute since we've been on. Um, we got to hit the holidays out the way, and plus, I've been traveling a lot. Been traveling a lot, and actually, I'm supposed to be traveling this weekend, but some of the current situations kind of got a little bit, anxiety going on. But we've been solid. Well, I know I've been solid. I've been solid. I take that back. I don't say for Jerome's sake, but I know for me, I've been solid. Um, Trying to take in a lot that's going on in the world. Um, but again, we only give you our opinions, and I mean that's how it is. I mean, I'm listening to everybody else get their opinions, so I mean we share ours, and but we try to bring a little bit of knowledge behind what we do, because I know me and Jerome working on a big project. We're trying to really get into early, um, trying to like the 1600s, 1700s, back into the 1500s, trying to find early indigenous history before this. But I think the last podcast we did, I think I did say, are we repeating history? Because if you go back 100 years ago, you would see the exact same thing that's going on with this, you know, getting rid of the immigrants, get rid of the immigrants. So I know last time we talked about it, it was, we showed you some of the acts that happened in the 1920s, in the 1930s, of getting rid of basically all the Hispanic people that they can possibly find, no matter if they're American or not. So that's what we did discuss then. Um, Now we seeing it make it come to true fold. We seeing some of the stuff. I mean, some of the stuff you kind of seen that was going to happen if you had common sense. Just put it that way. A lot of people really didn't. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I have different opinions. I have different things. I don't try to go deep into it to everybody. Kind of looking at it like I'm in my feelings, but it's like sometimes you just gotta say what's on your heart. Some
Facts.
people just don't have the knowledge to say what's on their heart because they only go by what somebody else told them.
Facts.
Um, Hold up. So we trying to build, and I mean, and that's the most important part. We're not here to debate. We're not trying to point fingers. We're not trying to belittle anybody. But if you can't think for yourself and you can't learn from, I think this country just don't learn from its mistakes, and I think that's why you try to erase history so you won't see this shit happen again, or you try to eliminate it to the fact that you be like, this is the first time this ever happened. And be like, nope, it has happened in the past.
Right.
Um, but again, we give you our opinions. We don't try to make you believe what we say. We don't try to brainwash you or indoctrinate you into believing what we say. If you've been with us, I mean, we've been on since what 2019. We've
Yeah.
been doing on this, and you won't see us try to, anytime we put anything on, we back it up with, knowledge and proof. So we just not one of the ones that's out here just saying whatever just to get likes, because we don't do this for, we just do this because this is what we do. This is what you see what me and Jerome do is what we do when we on the telephone, just doing a regular talk to talk. You just happen that we just see ourselves face to face. Um, but let's build. But I'm Brother Brian. I'm originally born in South Carolina, country, indigenous American. I'm part of the Cherokee tribe on my dad's side. On my mom's side is more of Chickasaw, Chickasaw tribe in the South Carolinas. But I would say black just because that's what most people are used to seeing or used to hearing. And most people need to understand when you start using colors, you only using it as a culture, not as who you are, or what you labeled as. So I'm happy to a certain extent because, you know, we going to the bowl, but I'm also sad. I'm also sad because Tar Heels got their ass whooped this weekend.
Facts.
Yeah. So big North Carolina Tar Heel basketball fan. I'm located currently in Philadelphia. And the funny thing about this drone is that airplane that actually crashed in Philly came from the airport that we work at.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of things going on in current America. Hey, I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's kind of like what the hell, or but other than that, Jerome, talk to me, man. What's going on, brother?
Well, first, it's good to be back. It's been a while since we done this. As always, everything that we say is our opinions, based in our facts. Please do not believe anything that we tell you. Take the information, research it for yourself. Once you find your truth, come back. Let's talk. Let's politic. Let's build. Facebook family, it's been a minute. B, I'm good. Just been doing my thing, trying to hold it down. Post election, and just trying to survive some of these tariffs.
Well, you already know he backed down on one of them already.
Right.
You backed down on Mexico, but
Yeah, kind of gonna have to.
I don't know. I feel like it's that we coming to a point that you're gonna fuck around and find out that people that say who they are is not who they truly are. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican.
Right.
Politics is not something that I indulge in because it's too many lies. It's like being a lawyer. I do this shit for a living. This is my job. A defense lawyer, no matter if you fucking made you killed or not, you're gonna lie, not lie, but you're gonna twist the truth and twist it and twist it like an orange until you get lemonade. So
right.
It's more of what's going on, Steve Coleman? And what's up, Jeremy? What's going on, man? Appreciate y'all joining on, but it's more of trying to understand what is really truly going on, or who's the main target this time. Because I feel like we hear they're attacking the Brown, which is our cousins, because or you can actually, to a certain extent, you can kind of say they the true Americans to a certain extent, from when it comes to Central and South America. It's kind of funny how this country this country become what it has become. But I feel like we picking fights with a lot of different people. I feel like our military is gonna it's everybody thinking because we got the most powerful military that we can do what the fuck we want,
Right.
knowing that we owe entirely too many people money. Um, but it's kind of like, yeah, what the fuck is really going on? Tell me what you feel. Tell me your opinions, man.
Oh man, it's a lot. I think what you see with the immigration, I think that's more or less that's what keeps. Let me phrase it in this manner. That's what keeps the lower intelligent people occupied
Mm,
because that's an emotional thing, right?
hmm
We got to get them out of our country. You know what I'm saying? But they've been here forever. You know, if you wouldn't even been talking about it, you wouldn't know the difference of how many of them are here anyway. You know, so it's something to keep you, those that vibrate on that level, keep their emotions stirred. When their emotions are stirred, they don't focus on anything else. You don't focus on the money. You know, right now there's so much money being transferred. You know, people are not just paying attention to what's going on. It's a lot of people getting rich here in the last 2 months. I mean, crazy rich. Um, but we focus on the existential things or these outside things that always are going to be there. There's always going to be this immigration back and forth. You know, my thing is if you wanted to stop immigration and if it was so important as a country, then that would be a country to country thing because Mexico doesn't stop it. They don't stop their people from going. Why? Because there's a tremendous amount of income that comes back from the United States. So I mean that's part of their GDP. And that's always happened though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see why it's a problem now. And it's always been going on.
I
But
mean, you don't. People are afraid to say race,
yeah.
but you see it because you only when I and this is something that I feel when you say immigration. Why is it only targeting one demographic when it comes to immigration? Because you probably got people from Russia that's illegal. You might have people from other parts of the world that's here, that's from Europe, that's here, and they are past their visa. But I don't see you chasing them. You keep thinking that everybody that you see, the Hispanic, came across this damn like they jumped the fence, and majority of them haven't jumped the fence.
That's facts.
And then that's the ignorant part. But at the same time, they talk about crime. They talk about crime, but then when you look at the statistics, they're not the ones that's doing the crazy crime. You might hear one person get killed, or you might see a Hispanic person. When I say Hispanic, it's mostly because Puerto Ricans are Americans. Let's get that out the way. They are citizens, so we eliminate that demographic when it comes to people. But you see other things that's coming into play, and when it affects a person of non-melanated skin complexion, it's a big problem. All I hear is fentanyl. Man, I don't know nobody on fentanyl. I don't know anybody that I don't. Are you? If you put fentanyl in front of me, I wouldn't even know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, well, you know, with that though, it's not like it's a designer drug. You know, it's a low end drug, so it's mostly in those. How would you say people that are in more on the poverty level? You know what I'm saying? But let me say this point. If they're talking about removing 1 million people, right? Did you see 1 million people sneak in?
No.
So how long these 1 million been here?
No, but you know when they do try to show you, they try to show you tapes over and over and over. You might see 10
Right.
here, you might see
But
20
I'm
here.
saying they tell you like
might
there's a
see
huge influx. Like
Yeah.
they're storming the Rio Grande. And they're just flowing over, flowing over, flowing over. People that they come over illegally, they still buy things over here, right? So they're still paid sales taxes. They're paying taxes. They're paying taxes just like you pay taxes when you buy things. If you're talking about income tax or if you're talking about state tax, Texas doesn't have a state tax. Florida doesn't have a state tax. So the tax money that they're getting from sales, right? So that's what the illegals are paying when they buy things. Now, if you're talking about on a federal level paying taxes, he's trying to eliminate federal tax himself. So what are we really talking about? What money are we talking about? What jobs are we talking about?
That trying to kill federal taxes is something that's been very interesting. You want to attack the Fed, you want to attack the IRS, you want to attack, the bank that prints the money. You got to understand who that bank is connected to. Everybody think the federal bank is the federal bank. It's not connected to the federal at all. It's one of the world banks. It's a world bank. They just put federal on it, so you too ignorant to try to figure out what it is. And that's why you don't have power to get rid of them, because they basically own the country. I mean, if you go back and study the history and seeing what families, and back then when you had the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the somebody else, I'm missing somebody. I think the people that owned Chase Bank was actually, they bought the country because we went in debt.
Right.
And this is why we've always been in debt since then.
But yeah, you're right. The Fed itself is not part of the government.
Yeah. But you can't tell nobody that, because they keep thinking, because then at the same time, what resources do we have that everybody needs? We already know Africa has the resources. It's just been the way they've been swindled or colonized to the fact is they've been used, or it's a lot of countries fighting back, dude. It's a lot of countries fighting back.
Which they should.
Which is interesting, because South Africa is going through shit right now. And boy.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important. I think they're paying attention to us, but I feel like they got tired of waiting for us, and they just went ahead and started doing stuff on their own. And sometimes people got to understand South Africa is a model of what the United States is currently. They just might be 200 or 300 years behind, but they model how they took over that part of Africa and colonized it and turned it into what it is now. Now I'm hearing that the people are taking their land back. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? But then at the same time, I see it's a lot of Caribbean countries. That's also, a lot of African countries are taking their independence back. They're kicking France out. What country was that on the East Coast? The Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast. I mean, there's a lot of countries, man, that France's GDP depends upon. They get billions and billions of dollars from these African nations, and it's like they say you're in debt to us. How? How are you in debt from something you illegally stole in the 1800s?
But then at the same time, are we not becoming the laughing stock again of the world? Are we not? Everybody sitting here watching us and wondering, like, dude, what the fuck? Because I'm telling you now, I don't know who the fuck is the president.
Elon.
But then at the same time, where's the vice president at? Everybody was talking about Kamala and she didn't do this when Joe was, crooked Joe or whatever you want to call it. But at
Right.
the same time, you hear them talk about, oh, what did she do? What did she do? What has JD Vance been doing? This 2 weeks has been hell. But then at the same time, I'm like, I've been trying to keep my mind to the fact is that it doesn't affect me or stop me from doing what I got to do because
Exactly.
it hasn't affected me yet. So that's why I kind of don't put a lot of energy in it. But only person I hear on TV is either Elon or fucking Trump, and I'm like, why is it Elon? How
Because
is Elon?
he funded it. But this is the thing. And it's funny, I put a video up earlier today about, what affects you, what it doesn't affect you.
Mhm.
Sometimes we don't see what indirectly affects us because it doesn't directly affect us.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Let me just go back to the tariffs real quick.
Go
Because
ahead.
people think like when he puts a tariff on a country, that the country actually pays the tariff, but they don't. It's actually the company that's importing the good. They have to pay the tariff. So if Walmart's importing something from China, which they do a lot of things from China, they're going to have to pay the tariff for it to get into the United States. And so if they're paying tariffs, they're going to raise all the prices on whatever they bring in. That's just naturally how it works. So that means you always in business pass the cost on to the customer. So ultimately, we're going to be paying the tariffs.
Yeah, because we're the customer.
That's how it works. But they so dumb, man. Well, I want to say they so dumb. They're so naive about their leader that they listen without listening.
Because he's not being affected because he already got the money.
Oh, and making a boatload more right now. I mean, he's killing them with the crypto. Yeah, he's killing them with the stock market, man. You think these drops are not designed, and then they're buying in low? They're
Yeah.
gonna make billions and billions of dollars. Elon Musk has already made over 150 billion since the election. Uh, was Jeff was Amazon guy.
Bezos. Bezos.
He's already made almost 100 billion since the election. I mean, these guys, when they play in the market and they're in a position now, they can play it from a country to country or on a world scale, not just from a business to business scale. Now you got the president of the free world, in your pocket. So you can manipulate these markets in crazy ways. But see, people are caught up in, we got to get these 5 Mexicans out of the neighborhood. And then they robbing you blind on the other end. And then you paying $7 per apple. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I did like the way. I mean, we see the tariffs. The thing that kind of got my attention is when you start fucking with the FAA. You
Yeah,
start, and that's something that I'm a part of.
right.
Um, and then you starting to see the craziness because I mean, we see the plane crash, the one that happened in D.C. Um, and you ask questions, how the hell this happened, and then this whole DEI bullshit. I still haven't really grasped my head around that DEI shit. Especially, I need to find out why that was put in law, but I think I know why it was put in law. So we won't be having this shit going on right now. If everybody's saying this, everybody's created equal. When it comes to being equal, it's a problem. Um, we always was told because now, I mean, you have that, which is out here. I'm This motherfucker says it's a DEI issue why these plane crash. And they asked him why. Because I got common sense. Oh God, this motherfucker.
Well, I mean,
Hey, what's up, gentlemen?
what's going on?
Long time no see, guys.
What's
up,
going
D.
on,
Will?
Mr. Wheeler? It's about to get crazy now.
What's happening with y'all guys, man?
No, we
Not
were
too
talking
much.
about this whole DEI bullshit. That's what I was commenting on, and I'm trying to understand why all of a sudden everything is a DEI, and it's like if you don't give everybody an equal opportunity, an equal chance. I'm sorry, white America, you're not the smartest. We just found that shit out. Oh shit, my daughter want to jump on. Oh boy, this about to get crazy. But now, I mean, but then it's like, again, if we are equal in this country because of the Constitution, why are we bickering about who's who? I need to see who got held back. I'm trying to find out who got held back because I got a criminal that got got a felony charge that's running the damn country. I got a dude that was on a sexual assault. So I don't even want to hear no excuse nobody who got a felony can't get a damn job. Period. That shit don't even need to be on a fucking application no more.
I agree.
Because what example are we setting as a country right now? You know, he can't go everywhere because I want to see what places he can travel, because if you're a felon, you have places that other countries won't accept you. So what, he gonna just fucking be golfing all the day? But then you talk about Biden when Biden was on fucking vacation. You doing the same shit, but at the same time, you get to stay at home. I wish I can work from home. What is he doing? Everybody need to come back to work. Well, what is you doing? I'm back to golf course. I'm back home fucking playing golf. You doing the same damn thing? Dude, what the fuck? I'm sorry, dude, but it's just I listen to people say this. I'm listening, but you're doing the same thing that you bitching about. You giving him a pass. Why he
What's
get
up,
pass?
D?
Yeah,
up,
man. If you knew if you're familiar with Steve Bannon and Steve Miller playbook, what you're seeing right now shouldn't be a surprise to you, as well as if you read Project 2025. Everything, and also Agenda 47. Everything, it's been spelled out what is going to happen. It wasn't nothing new. It wasn't a surprise to me. Everything was spelled out. It's been spelled out for a long time. Even going back, right for going back to his presidency. But once he lost that, what took place once that happened, they got on the ground running, and the message they sent out to the world was a message that got him into the election. You know what I'm saying? He put the best message out there that people that wanted to hear it bought into it. Even though people say, look, I don't care if he had a felony, I don't care I don't care about none of that stuff. Kids say I don't care about none of that stuff, right? Because what it was about is it's about centering whiteness. That's what it's about. It's about centering whiteness. And that's all is what it's about. Because everything that's been done is based on centering whiteness. And what you see is what you got. And Trump was the best person to be able to bring it to forefront. So that's why you have what you have, because of that reason, and people find out now it's not what they thought it was. So that's part of the plan, but right there, B.
No, but I mean, but that's true. But go ahead, Jerome. Go ahead.
All right. For me, and I'm feeling what both of you saying. I think Trump is the ultimate instrument, man, and he's being used by a certain group.
He's a puppet,
and they're not hiding it. And but see, he's benefiting from it too, monetarily. But my thing is, the one thing that I like about Trump is that he exposes everything. Because what he does, he don't care if you know it. He don't care if you see it, but it's exposed. It's not hid from you. So really, it shows me how prepared you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because you knew what was coming.
Right.
You knew who he is from the beginning. So when he gets there, you being surprised is really more your fault than it is his. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
It make a lot of sense. It make a lot of sense.
So that's why I always say, even in his first term, he told you if y'all bring him to play and he run it, if it's gonna make him money, he gonna run it. We're still unprepared, and we're still looking for white people to take care of us. You could say we independent, but we still looking for white people to take care of us. Because if it wasn't, it'd be like, why is he doing that against us? Why are they not passing this for us or passing that for you? Hadn't brought no plan.
Yeah.
And you don't have a lobbying group. I mean, like, so money. You tell me after 100 years we still don't understand politics? We're still not in a better place to play the game. Even the Hispanic groups that came in late to the United States. When I say late, I'm talking about onto the world scene of the United States. They even got lobbying groups.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we still don't have a credible lobbying group.
I agree.
No, but think about this. This might be far-fetched.
Nah, come on.
Think about this. Everybody that we see him around is got more money than he does.
Right.
And it's kind of like, for you to join our club, you got to let us do this. And we don't let you participate and make you think that you're part of our club. Because like you say, Jeff Bezos, and to be honest with you, I feel like Elon got a lot of shit. He hiding a lot of shit. I think he's in an agenda, because I feel like, not saying that this election was rigged, nobody questioned it, nobody fought against it, but he knew. And then your boy talked about it anyway. You know that man can't hold fucking water. But at the same time, we see a person that's not a true citizen. It's fucking with my retirement money.
Right.
He's fucking with all the he has his hands in the Treasury Department. Why? Nobody else had that type of power. Why is he always in the news and him and his goons doing what they doing? And nobody's questioning that.
But you know what? When they made Citizens Against the United States, when they made a corporation, a person also to campaign finance. Once their campaign finances went the way it did, all gloves was off. It's been there. Ain't nothing surprising about oligarchies. Going back to the Koch brothers, right?
Oh,
they were the Koch brothers. Yeah, the Koch brothers. They've been throwing money into election for a long time. But when they took the gloves off with campaign finances, it was open door. You was gonna see what you see now. The gloves off. You know what I'm saying? Look at, even when Obama ran, he was the first one who reached $1 billion when it came to fundraising, right? Now the sign is already, the money always been there. You know what I'm saying? But what happened? Trump got these. He got these the big boys up there with him as far as putting that money in there, right? You know what I'm saying? He got one or two. He got the top billionaires in the world, right? Dealing with that, but money being part of this whole thing, and money buys you what you want as far as when it comes to politics. And if your money big enough, you can buy whatever you want. Like I say, the Koch brothers showed us how to throw money into that pot, man. They spending 30, 40, 50 million dollars in for election. I mean, they showed you how to do that shit. So I'm not surprised that Elon Musk up there the money he get from contracts, man, government contracts is ridiculous. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised he's doing what he's doing. Plus his mentality, the way he thinks, you know, man, is wicked, man, right? And and with Trump, man, I'm not saying Trump ain't trying to rub it to the Trump being where these boys at, man. This ain't new. Trump being where these boys at. You know what I'm saying? These are younger guys, you know, with fresher money, a little bigger money. But Trump been in that kind of party, man. Been doing that kind of stuff for a long time, man. This ain't nothing new to him, man. You know what I'm saying? It just make him. It makes it's all about his ego more so than his money. It's really about his ego, man. He loves his ego to be stroked, man. That's more important to him than money. believe it or
Yep.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like I said, that's why I think he's the perfect tool, because they know that they can rub this genie and they're going to get what they want.
Get what
You
they
know what
want.
I'm saying? So
Ego, strike his ego.
this is my thing too. And this is unsolicited advice.
Uh-huh.
Is look at what they're doing.
Uh-huh.
And when I say look at what they're doing, look at what they're putting their money in. See, we don't understand there's transparency. They can't invest in things without it being known. The Congress can't. You know, it's got to be, it's transparency. So if you're not making the moves that they making, whether it's on a smaller scale than them, you know, you can't do it on the scale they're doing. But on your scale, a smaller scale, you're going to miss out.
Right.
Because they going to make their money regardless.
Yeah, they're going to make it.
And then once everything reset, the poor are going to be poorer and the richer are going to be richer.
Hey, man. Hey, you don't play the game, you miss the game, man. And the thing about it is that this got to be the richest cabinet that's ever been in history, man. Besides probably going back to, you know, slavery days, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So you come saying, so it's probably the richest cabinet that you've seen since that time period. Because, you know, understandable. So back then, right. So this is rich. I mean, these people are filthy rich, man. And what do they really care about your well-being? Ain't about it's right now, it's all about shaping this world the way they want to be shaped.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's all about power. Now, it ain't about the money. No, the money is taken care of. They ain't worried about the money, man. It's all about the power. How can I design this the way that we want to be designed, and not only for us, for the next 100 years, man, right? Because they understand one important thing. They are being, birth rate is not on their side. The birth rate not on their side. No, it's killing them. The birth rate, man, it's not on their side, though. Mexican and blacks, who we continue to have babies, right?
Right.
No, they not producing the way we producing.
Listen, I'm gonna put a pin right there.
You just got it, but go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I'll put a pin where you're talking about, because it's real. Go back 10 years. What did they tell you? By the year 2035, 2039, that white people would be the minority. You remember they would say, I don't know if y'all remember hearing that.
Yeah, I do.
Because of birth rates and fertility rates, right? So think about it. What do you have to do then? That means if you're going to be a minority, you have to get your power structure to where even if you're a minority, that you still have power over the majority.
Right.
And so what we're seeing is it's being accelerated. They doing it right there in front of your face.
Right.
You don't care if you see it or not, because why? You ain't even recognizing what's going on.
Man,
you just say, oh, he got his boys in. Obama, whether you like him or not, I don't know. That's your opinion. He kept saying there's going to be an oligarchy that comes.
Mm-hmm.
He kept saying it. They kept saying it. Nobody even Googled it.
But you know what?
what it meant.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what.
So you got all these rich people that's taking over the government. And they don't. Look at the cabinet, as he just said. Look at the cabinet.
Man, we're living, we're in a blink of a diaspora right now, right?
Right.
If you look at Brave New World, the book 1984, these types of, if you read them books, you like, yo, this shit is so creepy, because we at that point now with government is really taken to a point where it's gonna be do or die, man, right?
Right.
And it's crazy that we're in 2025 for it to happen. You would think 1980, maybe 80, you know what I'm saying? Because we're still at that brink of coming out of civil rights and shit like that, right? So things still pretty rough right there, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. You don't have about 40 years of things of progress that's taking place, but it became more dangerous because of that reason too, right? When progress happened like that, you can hide all kind of shit underneath the surface until it's time for it to come up, right?
Sure.
So while everybody looking like I'm loving life, life is good, we can do this, do that, whatever. It's a certain set of people who like, you know what? I don't like how things are going right now. I like it the way that we had it back in. That's why they kept saying "Make America Great Again," right? Which goes back to Reagan. You know what I'm saying? Go back to Reagan. Really, Reagan, he coined that term, right? But the mindset of it is, the best time for them was 1950 to 1970, right? I'm saying, right? That was their time frame. That when America really was great financially anytime. You know what I'm saying? You look at it, probably the most prosperous time in history in America, man. 1950, 1970 something, man. And they want that time frame because in that time period, they were still dealing with black codes and Jim Crow laws and all this type of stuff. It's still a lot of damn power was there. Still a lot of power there, man, right? So they want to bring that back to it, man. And they got this, they got the right people in place for that shit to happen, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I see what you're saying, but then you gotta look at it. Then, if we saying this 60s, 70s, and 80s, the drug problem wasn't affecting them; it was affecting us.
Yeah.
Now it's vice versa. Now we see that the drug problem is really affecting them because what is a hard drug that you see black people on, other than weed?
Right.
And I mean the reason why, and the reason why I was saying it is because it's more of if it affects them, it becomes a big issue.
I got you.
It affects them. If it affects us, we don't give a fuck.
Right.
Because we still look at you as beneath us. All I'm saying is corporations, is corporate America fighting oligarchs. That's it.
Right.
It's white people fighting white people, and we just happen to be in the middle of this fucking bullshit.
Here's the thing, babe.
Go ahead.
The term "Make America Great Again," right? I don't even know if we grasp that, right? So let's say what are you talking about?
Because they never put a point on where or when.
Okay, that's what I'm getting ready to hit you.
They're supposed to. It wasn't meant for it wasn't meant for them to tell you exactly when time. They know.
Right.
They know when it was great for them, but they know.
You want me to tell you when it was great?
Right. We know they know, but we're gonna say it first, right?
Right. If you look at like say late 1800s, early 1900s, right? You know why it was great? Because you got to think of when they say "Make America Great Again," they ain't finishing what they saying. It's make America great again for us. And what I mean us, I'm talking about the elite. Now, in those times, white people were poor. Black people wasn't. Black people wasn't poor. Black people they had their Tulsas. They had their, Raleighs, their Wilmingtons, their places like that. The elite got to benefit from because they had the rules that they could take all the inventions black people had. They could take all the land that the black people had. Yeah, go ahead, do y'all thing. Keep inventing stuff so we can take that and make ourselves great. Now, it had nothing to do with poor whites. That's why when the Depression hit and the poor whites was poor, and they were the one being affected by the Depression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then they's like, wait a minute now, if we don't do something, they gonna figure out that the blacks is actually living better than them. And they gonna band with the blacks and take America back. And so that's why you see how the 60s turned out. That's why it started this racial tension. Because everybody was fine with their places. Little Italy was Little Italy. Harlem was Harlem. Nobody had any problems with each other. It's just when you cross section, right?
Right.
So they knew that's when America was great because they were getting our stuff, our ideas, our innovations. You know what I'm saying? And then they could profit at a bigger level. But once the people start getting common sense and start working together, that's when everything starts to, we're going to immigration, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to take this out, we're going to take, you got to pay attention to why now? Why do you do things now? There's a reasoning behind it. We don't look at the bigger picture as a people. We
Right.
always look at what affects us right in front of us,
Right.
and we're not looking at the bigger picture. What are they hiding? What are they doing behind our backs?
Well,
Yeah.
it's an
Go
open
ahead.
secret, man.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Yo, Russell want to get in, man.
Got that fire tonight, ain't we?
Russell want to get in, but I mean, go ahead, Will. Go ahead, Will.
No, it's a right now it's an open secret, man. I mean, we're at the point now. Ain't no hiding hands or whatever, man. We have a good enough idea, enough information to know what things are trying to go to right now, right?
Right.
Now, what are we doing, to counteract that? That's the point of it. We have enough information to know what's taking place right now and where things can really go to. Now we got to find a way to counteract that shit, and that's the key point right there. How do we go about counteracting that? And that's the point. How are we going to do that and get people to be able to do that? That's the key point right now. You know what I'm saying? Cause
Yeah.
as black folk, our feet's not really at that fire as of 1954 and 1960 and 65, right? We don't have that same type of pressure, brother. You know what I'm saying? So organization is probably a little more, I don't know about that, man, or this and that, right? Cause that pressure ain't like that, bro, right? You know what I'm saying? Ain't the threat of really being hung, whatever, right? It's there, but ain't the threat of that knowing every day or whatever. If you go somewhere, this gonna happen, right? That's not the case. That pressure ain't there. So does that not motivate us enough to not do what we need to do, knowing what the fuck is going on? But yeah, anyway.
Go ahead, Vic.
Valid point, though. You got a valid point, because if I'm saying Russell say fear. I don't think the fear is what you think the fear is. I think the fact is they fear us, because we're becoming more educated. We're complacent within ourselves. We're starting to understand who we are and know where we're coming from. I mean, think about it. I mean, we talk about, we don't talk about Africa as much as we do. We talk about what's going on here in America as a group of people.
Right.
We don't sit here and say we've been persecuted. Like you say, I ain't worrying about you lynching me, but if you do, it's a gang of people that's coming.
Right.
It's you got neighborhoods you won't ride up in there. You're just in the military, but the military is still gonna be scared to ride up in certain militaries. So what you do is you send a group to gather up and get rid of the worst people that you feel are the biggest threats. That's why you see ICE doing what they're doing.
Man, you read my mind, man. You read my mind.
So much fear in people.
They taking them soldiers out of here, man. What they doing? They taking their soldiers out, man. They taking them soldiers out. They taking them soldiers out, man. You know what I'm saying?
But what gets me though,
When
it comes to ICE, you walking, you running up in people, are they working? These people working. These people ain't on the streets. These ain't people you just pulled up and asked what you got going on. You rating jobs, looking for people. You rating schools when people are trying to get educated. What's wrong with that problem? Them people they are modern citizens. If I'm at work, what trouble am I doing if I'm at work? Because I still got to pay taxes. You ain't paying me under the table unless you are.
Right.
But at the same time, you understanding when you're making these raids, where are you raiding from? Or what are your main spots you hitting? Because I don't see nobody else getting wrapped up. I don't see no other ethnic group getting wrapped up or getting round up. I only see Hispanics. That's it. And maybe some Africans.
Now that's just what they promote, though. You can't really say that's all, because when the people were flooding in, when we was taking all these so-called immigrants in that were forced out of their countries, a lot of them guys were soldiers, like he said. Though a lot of those guys were trained military. So that's in another administration that allowed them in. This administration might be trying to clean up that mess, but put in the face of we're taking Mexicans out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, a Colombian or what I'm saying.
Right.
any
Right.
of that, yeah, and yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And then, so,
I see what
because
you're
you don't
saying.
get to see everybody that's taken out. They said they're taking over 1 million people. So you're not going to be able to see, everybody that they're taking out.
Walk around and find 1 million people. You're
Right.
not gonna get 1 million people.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's specific. Listen, bro, they're not going to say, Monday at 8 o'clock, we're going to start ice raids and know where all these people are at. How they out? They pre-knew where they was at, right? I mean, so if that was common knowledge, you could have been at them, right?
Right.
So I'm saying, I said we can't fall for the okie doke, because like I said, that plays into our fears. Somebody taking our jobs, somebody taking our money, somebody taking our land. You know what I'm saying? That plays into people's fears. And when you're in fear, you don't think clearly.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they're doing the other things. That's when they really taking your money. That's when they really limiting your freedom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're in fear of, you telling me you're in fear of people that cross the border with no money, rather than people that are billionaires in power over your life.
Oh, your next door neighbor. Hey, man, the numbers let you know, man. You deal anybody in your proximity, that's gonna be your best friend, your worst enemy, right? Ain't no two things about that, right?
Right.
If anybody gonna hurt you, it's gonna be somebody within your proximity. Anything outside the perimeter, it's gonna be abnormal, whatever the case is. But most likely, what's gonna happen to you gonna be within the proximity of where you live, where you work, who you deal with, and everything else, right? And
That's
the people that do that to you gonna look just like your ass. Nothing different, right? Gonna look just like you. I don't care what color, you're gonna look just like you. If you're dealing with that environment and that proximity, or whatever in that proximity, you're gonna be dealing with that situation, man. So when they talking about people coming over the border and doing all kind of stuff, that's a bunch of, that's a dog whistle, man, for what it really is. Exactly. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? It's a dog whistle.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
90% of crimes that happen to people happen in your vicinity. They're proximity crimes. You know what I'm saying? They look like you.
They look like you.
And that matter, it don't matter if you white, black, Mexican.
It don't matter.
They look like you. It's a proximity crime.
Right. And people bring up, black and black. I laugh now because I'm like, when you say stuff like that, it lets me know how ignorant that you really are. Exactly. And I have no time to entertain that because you really missing the point by you saying that. You know what I'm saying? You missing the forest for the trees. By you saying that lets me know you're not thinking beyond your stupidity. So I can entertain that because that doesn't make any sense no damn more, right?
Right.
No, it don't make any sense no more, man. It just, that's my point, y'all.
No, because everybody keeps making it just a Democratic Republican bullshit, and it's like, was it? Did you see me push? Did you see me back anybody, Jerome?
No.
I didn't see Willa backing anybody. I just didn't like Trump because I know we got a fucking idiot at fucking president.
My thing of it is, man, anybody, I don't want, what I'm saying, any president that get in the office, you got to have some dirt with you. You got to do some dirt, right? It's part of the job, right? It's part of the job. But how much of that dirt is going to harm us as a, you know what I'm saying? That's my thing of it is. I don't care. It don't matter what party, what are you doing that's going to hurt us as a whole? Because what hurts Jerome or hurt Brian can also hurt me too, because it can trickle down, because I'm sure it's not, in a vacuum, right? Not a vacuum, you know what I'm saying? We don't live in a vacuum. This thing right now is a trickle thing, what happens, right? So whoever in office passing the positive, whatever, how would that benefit us all? Or how would that hurt us all? That's my mindset. So I don't care what party it is. Is thing that you about to do gonna hurt us or help us, right? Right? And that's my point of it is. And this guy right here, it's not, he got agenda, he know who he wanted for. It ain't for none of us people who talking right now. It's not. Whether you black, whether you white, whatever, it's not for us in this area, in this particular
class.
different
class.
Class,
Social
yeah,
class,
class.
yeah.
Thank you, B. That's the word. That's the word. The class right now, right? Because it's about who can make this their dream come true, or the way they want the world to be, and how much money can be done off that in the same time period.
What's up, Russell? You doing a lot of commenting, Russell. What's going on, man?
Let me start out
I'm
by
not
saying
agreeing
Happy
to none
New
of that.
Year
I'm not
to
agreeing
all
to
of
a lot
you
of your stuff
guys.
now. I'm telling you now.
I'm gonna start out with saying Happy New Year to everyone in the crowd.
Happy New Year, City, man. All right.
Yes, sir. Because I just want to be the devil's advocate. You know what I mean?
No, we trying to build, man.
Because
Advocate don't do nothing, man.
sometimes we get led astray.
Tell me how.
We get led astray.
I want to hear how. Tell me how.
One thing, I'm very wishy-washy of any group of people or organization that only wants to get black people on one agenda to vote for president.
But we didn't say that though.
But I'm just sort of recapping what you discussed earlier, like the immigrant thing. You was talking about how they're at work and
no, because I'm saying it's repeating history. They're repeating what they did 100 years ago.
Last summer, in July, August, the illegal immigrant population were going into town hall meetings in Chicago and Philadelphia and Baltimore, New York City, and they had open disdain for Black Americans. They called us lazy. They said they were going to get our resources. They said that we weren't entitled to anything. This is what they're fighting for right now in Chicago. Now, the people are turning up in the town halls in Chicago. So they see what you gotta understand about this Hispanic population. They're very conservative, and when they come to America, they take on the same ideology as racist white folks. See, people, we look at them as, because if you remember last summer in New York City, when they were going to move them from the 4-star hotels to the 3-star hotels because it was just going to be a cost-effective measure, they were protesting. See, they thought Vice President Harris was going to win. They were banking on Vice President Harris to win. They gave the Black community so much smoke over the summer. Now, Black Americans saying, hey, yon. You know what I mean? Now they're looking for us to step in because in this country, Black Americans are really the only one who provides resistance to this government. Historically, we have been the only group of people who naturally have to provide resistance to the government because of the system we're in. Right. So I naturally don't really feel any type of way about this whole ICE raid thing, because you can't tell me it's easy to, let me just play devil's advocate. It's easy to bash Trump in 2 years or talk about his past 4 years. We just lived under 4 years of the Biden administration. They cut blank checks to Israel, to Ukraine, to the immigrants, and they told Black America, we don't have nothing for you for reparations. We don't have nothing for you for small business loans, but you got money for everybody else. But then they come around, like I posted in the comments, the Black America's in a class war right now. We're in W.E.B. Du Bois versus Booker T. Washington 2.0. And I saw that this election. This is the first election we're actually seeing a political party turn a group of women against their men.
Right.
Black women were openly defiant to Black men, and Black men still showed up and voted for Vice President Harris. That's the whole move. They all the way up until election day, they called Black men ignorant, uninformed. We didn't read. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. And we still showed up and vote. So now they don't have the boogeyman. They wanted the Black man. They wanted this Trump vote with Black men to be higher because they need a boogeyman. Black men showed up. Over 80% of Black men voted for Trump. Yes, Trump got some Black men
that's the wrong
votes.
That's the wrong number. That's the wrong number, brother.
They got over 80% of Black men.
Not for Trump. That's a no. That 84% of Black men voted for Harrison, man.
That's what I'm saying. He got 80%. Harris got 8% of Black men, but they wanted more Black men to vote for Trump because all summer they painted the picture that Black men were misogynists. We didn't want Black women in power. We watched the political party turn our women against the men. And this was openly. They were.
Why do you keep saying they turn against us? How did they turn
against us?
I don't see that. Social media. I'll stay on social media.
Wait. My thing over there is women in my generation, in our generation that I know of, I never heard that kind of stuff. What you hearing from them youngins, the red pill, them young women and young men who in that environment right now. But grown women who about business, grown men about, we entertain that kind of stuff because we really know what's going on. Them youngins, they gonna talk and act like that because that's what's going on with them. But anybody who Generation X, we ain't dealing with no mess like that. Women that I know in that age group, I ain't talking about black men like that. No, sir.
Have you talked to someone in Generation X and you told them that just run an experiment? Go to that same exact demographic that you're talking about, that's grown, they have things going for them. Tell them you voted for Trump, whether you did or not. And you'll see how they're going to treat you in that demographic.
And they should.
There was an open.
And they should. And they should treat me something. I should. You know why? Because by me voting for Trump, I'm voting against a lot of things for black women, particularly. That's why it showed them that I don't have their back as a black man, because Trump does not represent a black woman whatsoever. Ain't nothing about that man policy, anything about him that show this man is a felon. This man is a criminal. This man is a certified. He been certified, this type of stuff. What kind of signal does it say to black women that these black men are going against their best interest?
I'm just the devil's advocate. Somebody's got to argue both sides. It sounds like everyone's on the same page here, so I can argue both sides.
Hey, I don't mind a pushback. I don't mind a pushback whatsoever.
I'm just trying to find out what's the angle.
Vice President Harris ran all summer and had no agenda for black women other than abortion. She gave the AAPI, which is the Asian American Pacific Islanders, when she was vice president, she gave them $25 billion in 2003, gave them another $24 billion in 2024 for their businesses.
Why do you keep saying she gave?
But I'm saying
she signed off on it.
No, bro, no, you
president.
No, that was her initiative. That was her initiative. Y'all think see, that's the biggest misconception that they tell you, is that the vice president don't have no power. The vice president has plenty of power. Vice President Harris is.
Show me another president that had power. Show me another vice president that had power.
She was the deciding vote.
Show me another vice president that had power.
All of them had power.
George Herbert Bush.
Dick Cheney had plenty of power.
George Herbert Bush that became president.
No, what
Biden had plenty of power as vice president. Vice president I know has plenty of power.
What kind of I'm saying what he's saying is that even behind the scene or whatever, what can Harris do?
Telling you that
what can she tell?
The Democratic Party is selling you something. They're selling you.
I don't care about the Democrat of what's part. I'm saying is that if you're gonna,
you said they don't have power. The vice president of the United States has power.
What power?
The deciding vote in the Senate was Kamala Harris. It was
deciding vote, right?
Deciding vote. She was the one who voted for Joe Biden's economic plan that put us in. She took the lead vote, the tie-breaking vote.
No. It put us in what?
Yeah, put us in what?
They put us in inflation.
Oh no, bro! Come on, man. Are you going? Oh my God, man! You know what, man? I don't mind a pushback, but I like a pushback.
You can't prove. Like I said, I can argue both sides. I can come on here and tell you why.
Okay, then Trump
okay. Prove that. I'm going to tell you.
Prove that claim that you said. Prove that claim that you said that what they passed put us in inflation.
It was their whole economic spending plan.
I don't know. Prove that claim that you made, right?
Money. Did you not? Just
I don't. Brother,
4 years.
Brother, you said you can prove that claim you made. Now prove that claim you made about
my
inflation.
Tablet, and I can show you the actual bill. It was a tie vote, and she was the tie-breaking vote.
You said the inflation. You said that bill put us in inflation, right?
It was the spending thing. They turned off the
come on now.
They said,
do you remember the 2016-17 Trump tax bill?
We were in a surplus under Trump.
No, we were. No, we were. You know why? You know why? No, he's right. We were surplus, but you know why, right?
Argue both sides.
But you know why, right? Who was? Hold on, now, time out.
One at a time. One at a time.
Who was there? Who made that surplus?
Who made
that surplus?
Obama claims to make it.
I don't claim my ass. No, club up. I'm gonna tell you. Hey, when Bill Clinton was in there, when Bill Clinton left, it was a surplus. We was in a plus. George Bush got in there, went down, right? 2 years went down. Obama got back in there, cleaned that mess up, a surplus again. Trump got in there. We went back in fucking debt. Why you think that inflation happened the way that we're feeling right now? The tax, you know what? The tax bill right now, Trump tax bill is not.
Obama saved the banks by giving them trillions and trillions of dollars, and he came on national TV and told black folks
he's saying the auto industry too. He saved the auto industry too.
And we still have a surplus
in the
right
first
now.
year.
Within
the
the
first year,
$1.8 trillion.
He bailed out everybody.
He bailed everybody out.
But up.
Right.
But up.
We had to. We had to. It was a must. It was. You know what? When they say it was too big, that thing was too big to fail. If them banks that went down right there,
too big to fail. Your house mortgage. If you can't afford your house mortgage, you think they're gonna come and say, "Oh, you know, it's too big to."
Hold up, was that not a shitty ass mortgage that you had?
That's what. And then the reason I know, like that, I can argue both sides. I just want to come and stir the pot a little bit because I just think that
this brother,
we're in a class war, and if you didn't see what happened. You're talking like they were talking like I heard one of you saying how Trump's around a lot of wealthy people and it's almost like you don't feel included. Vice President Harris raised $3 billion in 90 days. They're around a bunch of wealthy people too.
No,
that was us.
They were black women. The moment that they announced that, hey, brother, you guys really stop making this stuff. You really got to stop making nothing up. Yes, you are, man. Yes, you know. You're making false, brother. You're making phone calls. You know what? Them black women got together and they organized. They got together. They went on Zoom and they raised that. They raised that money within 24 hours. Brother, they raised that money within 24 hours. They raised about $80 million within 24 hours of her saying that she was for president, man. Come on, man. Don't do that.
We're talking $3 billion.
Hold up. How much did Elon give Trump?
290-something $million, man.
No, he hit billions.
I don't know how much you gave him.
No, I'm saying what's being reported, $249 million, right? Is to given to him by himself. Him alone.
So you saying black women raised the $3 billion?
Why can you say not?
Well, yeah, they did. I ain't say three. I ain't say three. I didn't say $3 billion. I said that.
Hold up. Who's the most educated person?
Oh my God!
Here. Tell me.
The most educated. I hear that talking so much.
Answer
the most
the question.
Educated group.
Who got the most degrees?
I agree. Okay, women? Let's say the black women most educated.
Answer the question. Is it black women? So you're trying to say these black women can't got good jobs?
Okay, let's go ahead and go with that. I'll go down that road with you. Let's say yes, they are the most educated and the most wealth. They make the most money. They make more than black men. Then why is the wealth gap going higher than closing?
Because
why
we ain't
wealth gap not closing. If they're they're more educated, making more money. Why is the black wealth gap closing? It's more women than men.
In jail.
Huh?
It's a nuance, brother. It's a nuance.
If you take the men that's in jail, the gap should definitely be closing because they're not in the economy.
Oh right? Man,
they're selling you a story.
But they still count part of the economy.
Because you got two masters degrees and you $300,000 in debt.
They still count.
Okay, we the most educated, we the most in debt. We got the lowest net worth. We come online, we're raising
back up. Say that again.
You say we're the most educated. If they're the most educated and they're making the most money now, why isn't the wealth gap closing?
Bro,
it's more women than men. It's more black women than black men.
That's not how economics work, brother. Come on, man.
That is exactly how it works.
If we're gonna have a good intellectual discourse, we have to make sure that we're not
the wealth gap. You add up the amount of people.
No, you don't. You don't. You got to do per capita. You got to do all kind of economics. Don't work just based on that.
Well, let's just take black women then. How come black women's net worth put it up against any other group?
And they will win. Except for black males. Except for black. Except for white males.
White males.
Except for white male, they will be right there, right behind them. When
Indian
it comes
and
to
Asian
financially
women
wise,
have more wealth than black women. They're selling you
Who?
this whole educated. Education doesn't equal wealth. It
Okay.
just equals education. And
No,
I don't
no.
knock black women for being educated. There's nothing wrong with being educated, but don't confuse that with wealth.
We're not confusing education with wealth. What B is saying is, like I said, it's a nuance. It ain't strictly just based on education itself. What type of education are we talking about, right? How many PhDs? How many black women got PhDs? Or I'm saying, is it they have the highest number of PhDs when it comes to white males, right?
Why isn't the wealth gap closing for
The
black
wealth is
women?
because it ain't only
Wait a minute,
about
wait a minute.
finance.
It's
It's
just
about other.
automatically. Come on, the wealth gap has been outrageous since when?
Let's
Forever.
take black men out the equation.
Forever.
Take
100?
educated black women and non-educated black women. Why is it the wealth gap closing? You're comparing education to wealth. I'm not saying that black
No,
women
because you
are educated.
comparing like in the last 10 years.
If that's the
You can't
case,
go by the 10-year mark and say, oh, within the last 10 years, the wealth gap is no, it's never going to be that way. It's never going to be that way.
who are you comparing the wealth gap to? Black men?
White men.
No, it's no comparison. White man
Why?
gets a dollar on the dollar. You can go to any corporate America right now, and they talk about DEI. CNN, a blue liberal website, released the data. Black people on the bottom of the total pole for DEI. Obama introduced DEI when he introduced gay marriage, LGBTQ, because that was to supersede affirmative action, because affirmative action is word association. When you hear the word affirmative action, that means specifically black people. And they'll say,
no, that's what they say. That ain't true.
It's not true, because the number one beneficiary of affirmative action and DEI is white women. And I'm going to say this, in any industry,
Civil rights is all about white women. But I mean, we can keep going down this road all day.
Any industry in any field, no matter the profession, once you get to a certain level, there will not be a black person in a position that's not overqualified. The average black person is overqualified for entry-level jobs, let alone management, senior management, and executive management. You can go on LinkedIn right now, and it's black women with PhDs and master's degrees, and their bosses went to community college. We're overqualified. DEI wasn't to give unqualified people. The unqualified people are not us. We're overqualified.
And why is that? Why is the unqualified getting qualified positions?
Because we're in a system of white supremacy.
So why is the DEI was a big issue then?
Okay.
DEI was introduced by Obama, because
it
Obama's
was not
the one rolled out the
Obama.
LGBTQ agenda.
They
was not,
used
man.
it.
It was not.
We didn't bring it. That thing been back since the 1960s.
The 1960s, the Civil Rights Act of 1960. You know who was the number one beneficiary?
So hold up. What's up with the 1965?
1965, white women. You can ask Dick Gregory, talked about that for 30 years. If it wasn't for the Civil Rights Act of 1965, white women weren't able to get jobs in banks. They weren't able to be stewardess.
I agree.
They make it as if DEI is something to keep us from getting jobs. Black people are overqualified for jobs. We are black people have bachelor's degrees to apply for jobs where you only need a GED. That's what makes
you apply for entry level jobs. Yeah,
we're overqualified, and they're trying to make it as if it's fear. They're trying to make us feel as if we're going back to the plantation. And one thing I can say, you may not like Donald Trump, but he said something last week that solidified a talking point that I like to use. He talks about the 14th Amendment and how that's not to be used for immigrants. That is for the children of American slaves that was protected by the 14th Amendment. If you're not a child descendant of American slaves, and you're not protected by the 14th Amendment, that don't apply to you. And we got a lot of people who rode the coattails of Black America's struggle.
But I want you to remember two things. But two things about that 14th Amendment. I want you to remember the Dred Scott decision too. That's one, right? And also too, a key word, jurisprudence, right? What jurisdiction, right? What jurisdiction? That has a lot to do with that too. Them part of the 14th Amendment. thereof, right? That has a lot to do with too. The Dred Scott decision and the little words there have a lot to do with about that, and we gotta be very mindful of that.
Yeah.
And be very concerned about that because they used that Dred Scott 2 years ago when they I forgot shit. I ain't gonna speak up if I can't remember, but
I know what you're talking about. I forgot
yeah,
what it was. Too.
they used that to defend the Dred Scott. That I forgot who it was, so I'm not gonna bring it up because I can't remember right now. I want to put some information out there that I can't confirm. But yes, but the Dred Scott decision in that little part of the 14th Amendment, to keep that in mind. Go ahead, Jerome. We've been talking.
Yeah, Jerome, go ahead, man. Because
My bad. I'm sorry, fellas. I'll just come in here and say y'all
no. You did not get off. Do
foolishness.
not jump on here and start this fire and run.
Kick me out of the group. I'm sorry, sir. I just want to come
No,
in.
man, y'all good. Y'all good.
Oh, no, you good, brother. No, you good, brother.
You good.
First, let me say, I didn't jump in because the argument was kind of, I didn't know where it was going. So I didn't know where to put my foot in at it. So
I'll just fire that motherfucker. I didn't know where it going either. Excuse me.
That's what I do when I come in here. I
was just gonna let y'all work that one out.
Okay.
I think a point I heard a lot of points that I want to get into though is that regardless who raised $3 million or $3 billion for the vice president at that time, why can't we have a black lobbying system that raises the same $3 billion?
Because it ain't no orchestrated effort to get us on the same page other than
right.
Right.
You should be very weary of that. Very weary because
see that's my thing. That's why I was so concerned.
And raise $80 million in 2 days, and we got black women need shelter. They in homeless shelters. They ain't got access to medications. There ain't no orchestrated effort for that because we in a.
And see, I know where you're going. That's my concern that we can.
We should really be looking at that. That's very telling. And we're not talking about Vice President Harris didn't campaign for 24 months, 18 months, 90 days. She raised that money.
Right.
They laughing in our face when black folks come around talking about money. And you got a blank check to Ukraine, blank check to Israel, blank check to Afghanistan, blank check to the immigrants. And black folks got relatives on fixed income, can't even get an extra $500 a month. And you got them living in 5-star hotels in New York City that's $8,000 a month. New York City almost bankrupt by holding them. And they telling us, Obama comes out over the summer and wags his little finger at us and tell us we better get on board or you don't want Big Mama Michelle Obama to come out and get you straight.
So one comment. One comment pissed everybody off. This motherfucker makes stupid comments every day and nobody says nothing.
Trump ain't been in office.
Obama says one thing and everybody, he says black people ain't smart. Come on, man. Common sense. If you stupid,
people don't like Trump.
You let people let your emotions get you like that because somebody said you stupid.
That
so
man
you deserve to be where you need to be.
My question would be, as black people, what are we going to do? Are we going to withdraw from the system, or are we going to figure out how we're going to maneuver and get something out
this is a fight. This is not even our fight, man.
This is our fight.
In the middle of this shit.
This is our fight for real. Because
how is our fight? How is
this
our fight?
Is our fight because right now, we're in the best position, actually, because all of these other groups who sat back and watched us catch the heat, now the heat's on them. This is our time to move because
that's why I said it's not our fight.
The Democratic Party didn't have no strategy for black people.
Can we maneuver?
Let me say this, B.
It's not our fight.
Let me say this. Fight. Hold on, Russ. See, this is my thing. Whose fight it is, whose fight is not, who's affected, who's not. We still don't have a plan. Is the Black Caucus taking care of us?
Hell no.
It's full of.
So I'm saying, what group do we have that's taking care of us? Because at the end of the day, whoever wins the fight, you still depending on them to take care of you.
I'm putting $1 towards the charity. I'm putting in. So I did my part.
I mean, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing new that we. I mean, the solutions have always been there, and I said it's up. We talked about this some years ago. Before the three of us before,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Solutions, it's there. You know what I'm saying? Pockets of people were doing certain things and pocketed play. If you look at doing, look at for instance, Operation Breadbasket, right? Up in Chicago in 1960. They did certain things in that pocket to make that community more better. If we do things in pockets where we are at, man, we can we can bridge that gap of what we at right now. But first, us keep asking the question, what should we do as a black or whatever? We can't do that. Because first of all, we're not a monolith, right? Secondly, we live in different places. If each one of us right here on thing take a handful of people and we organize them handful of people to do certain things, and that can, and each person does that, it makes a difference. It moves the needle. How much it moves, I don't know, but it moves the needle regardless. The needle does be moved, but it takes a pocket of people to do certain things. As a monolith, it ain't gonna happen right now because we're not at that point right now for a monolith. We gotta do that shit in pockets.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, black people have never been monolithic. You know, there was no world black
Right.
power. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But what you're talking about, you should do on a state level. That's what we're saying. On the state level, each state be organized, but you know, there should be some cohesiveness between them so that we're all on the same page. We may have you have to do it different in Chicago than you have to do it in Charlotte. You know.
Do y'all remember right quick, you remember the 1914 Negro Convention, right?
Right.
That what you're talking about, Jerome, right? The 19, I'm saying? Yeah. Right. So I'm saying it's been, like I said, the shit been going on way back to whatever. Even looking at what Garvey done back in, organization have always been part of who we are, right?
They just get torn down by
it's just right. Like I say, but the same type of pressure that took place back then, we don't have that same type of pressure that they had to make shit happen. Shit had to happen. Come hell or high water, we got the organized call. What's going on right now? We can't take this shit no more, right? So it was uncomfortable. It was so we're at a point now in our life, it's very comfortable that pressure is not there to a point where it makes us like, dog, I don't like how it's feeling. We got to really do some things a little different than what's been going on. We don't have that as a whole, but even in pockets, we don't really feel that kind of pressure like that.
Our backs are not against the wall.
No, it's not. It's not.
And we'll never be in that problem if we're relaxed.
It's not, because the net man gonna say, you know what, I'm doing okay, I'm eating pretty well, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That picture, man, of a child being bit by a dog, the picture of a child being water hole. You don't see that kind of shit now. You may hear about police about you hear that shit, right? And that organized some shit with it. But when you seeing something that's constantly being at your neck, constantly at your neck, that brings a different type of mentality, a different type of beast that comes out of you to make things different than what it was. And you willing to go to hell or high water to get that shit off you, man. We don't have that neck on our, we don't have that foot on our neck anymore.
Go ahead, Russ. I see you.
No, I just come, like I said, I want to be devil's advocate because I saw everybody on the same page. Let me tell you something, sir. If you don't think the foot's on your neck, you are sadly mistaken. The foot is on your neck, and I hope, and if you don't feel it,
hold on, man. You got to make your mind either this I fight, not I fight. If the pressure on our neck is our fight, then right?
You know what? Times are
shifting. Which one is it?
The foot's on our neck. The foot's on our neck.
Okay, all right.
Then. The foot's on our neck.
Okay.
And they adapt with the times. We don't adapt with the times. We more reactive in survival mode. We never really had a chance to plan to do anything. You talking about the United States government, since we been on this soil, it's always been some kind of government organization that's been there to keep us from organizing, all the way up into the full-fledged of the FBI. Like, if we feel as if we're comfortable, go and try to get a business loan. You think it's so comfortable?
I gotta come up with a business idea first.
To buy some real estate. Everything's for sale in America.
It is. What I'm saying is that
if we're not against the wall, we are more against the wall, because Now they don't have to infiltrate our groups with COINTELPRO. We all on social media now. All 4 of us in 4 different locations on social media. All Mark Zuckerberg got to do right now and zap this live. Ban it. We're done talking.
No, we on Facebook too. I mean, we on YouTube too.
We're done talking.
We on YouTube too.
Yeah, we're on a different platform. Like the game has changed. The game has changed, and we're in a digital era now. And they got AI. Like people talking about, oh, I want to learn about. Hey, dude, I saw an interview with Mark Cuban. I think about it now. Over 10 years ago, he was talking about AI, and he said, "Get a book, learn everything." Once they present this stuff to us, we're already behind. Now you can go on ChatGPT, it actually works. The money was in getting it to work. It actually works for us now. We got to figure out a way to get back in front, and people don't understand.
Yeah, DeepSeek is better in a way, but
it's better for us. We're a little more comfortable. We're the only group of
actually
people
it's better for us, but it actually making us dumb.
Like the Hispanic people that they rounding up by ICE. Some people disagree with that, they protested, but the illegal immigrants have never had the full-fledged of the FBI federal government against them. They just got a portion of it, which is ICE. We had the FBI, the military, the IRS. We had the full-fledged, Congress, House of Representatives, the Supreme Court. We've had the full-fledged of this system against us. And that's the thing. We got to say, hey, you know what? And I heard earlier they were saying, well, we're not a monolith. If we're not a monolith, why are y'all always trying to get us to vote for the Democrats? They don't have nothing for us. Kamala Harris didn't have nothing for black people.
Let me say this. I'll let y'all back in. I heard that we're comfortable. I heard that we don't have the same things that motivate us that we used to. I take it from, let's say, a cattle perspective. You could set a small area that you want cattle in. Cattle like to move. So you electrify the fence. And those cattle hit that fence and get electrified. They'll know the parameters, and they'll know the distances that they can go. You can cut the fence off, right? So I think we've been prodded so much earlier that we don't have the same stimulations, and we hold to them same positions that we used to, because now we're comfortable being in this small area, because you don't know what your freedoms are. Like he talking about going and get a business loan, free travel. Yeah. Just understanding those things that it's not the same for us. Yeah. But we're comfortable with what we got. And we don't understand all the things that we're missing.
Right. Because I'm just leaving the gym now, right?
You're right.
I work out on the same bench as a white person. I was the same bathroom, right? Everything 60-something years ago, it couldn't have happened, right?
Right.
Like I say, the pressure in the environment is different, because you don't feel that humiliation. You don't feel that shit that they felt. Your mother, your grandmother went today. You didn't feel that shit. We don't feel that shit. We never felt that shit, right? We never felt that humility. You got to move your ass off the sidewalk. You ain't felt that shit. So that same type of pressure, you ain't felt that. You felt that shit. You don't want that shit to be felt. You don't want your kids to feel that shit. You don't want your grandkids to feel that shit. So you're going to do what you got to do to get that shit up off you. We don't have that same type of feeling right now. We don't have that same type of foot on our neck like that.
I would agree with you on that. It's not that, but everything that you just talked about, those pressures, those moving on the sidewalk, those are all done by ignorant people, right? It was done by system. Listen. The system was in place that empowered these ignorant people. Because they felt empowered, they done these things to people, right? But what we don't understand is the system is still in place.
Right.
they just don't feel that same empowerment because we are empowered to do
Right.
what we want to move. You could go to that same gym that he
Right.
goes to, right? So you have that empowerment, but it doesn't change the system.
No, it doesn't.
Because you could that same mechanisms that were keeping you out of the neighborhoods is really still there.
Right.
So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, but I'm saying is that
What's up, B?
but you're right. The system's still there, but the way of that feeling of that, right? That time, the feeling of that system is a lot different, right? It's more so we know it's more so hitting or you get caught up in that shit, you feel that shit, right? But if you never really up in that shit like that, you're not feeling it. But there was a universal type of feeling it felt at that time.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? As far as it was like not only in Alabama you felt that shit, you felt it in South Carolina, right?
Right.
That type of shit, right? With the system when it came, you felt it on both ends. You felt it wherever you went in the South. You felt that type of pressure, right? But right now, you can go about our way. We don't feel that pressure of that system. We don't feel it on an everyday basis like that. We don't feel it the way they would, right? See what I'm saying? We don't feel it. We're not up against that wall each day with that. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. I digress, B.
Yo, hold on.
Go ahead, B.
The system was threatened a couple years ago when people organized with the Black Lives Matter and they was going to city to city to protest.
Yeah.
They threatened.
Yes, sir.
It was a threat.
Yes, sir.
And they got scared because they was like, "Oh shit! If all these damn people come together,
Black Lives Matter was a threat.
It wasn't.
No.
Hey, I'll say this, B. I get what you're saying.
By George Soros, the white man. He put up all the front money. They were not a
when
threat
you had
at
a
all.
bunch of people coming together.
That's the point.
That
threat.
got
That's the threat.
Nothing done.
That's a threat.
Joe Biden
And you had to get rid of that threat
hate
quick.
bill during COVID. Have we had an anti-black hate bill? Period. None.
Never.
You know what? Now I will say this, B. Now you say it's a threat, but who's it a threat for? It was a threat for white America, but it wasn't a threat for the system.
It wasn't a threat to
for
nobody.
It wasn't
That
a
is a
threat for
system.
any.
Why was
Everybody
the
that
system trying to put it away then? Why did they have
Because when
to?
you go onto Black Lives Matter's website,
I don't care about that. That ain't what I'm talking
website.
about. That I don't care about the group. I'm just saying the way.
Oh, you mean the
rallied.
hashtag?
They
No,
rallied together.
the organization,
and
man.
they
The organization was
The organization. Now, I get that, but who was it
organized, and
by?
it was a threat.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a threat at all. Because when black people are a threat to this country, they lock down like Rottweilers.
And it
They
wasn't
locked down there.
And that's the reason. That's the reason why it was a threat.
2024. If you don't, you know what was a threat that wasn't quote unquote Black Lives Matter? See, Black Lives Matter flourished after this one event, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Ferguson. Black Lives Matter was bubbling during Ferguson. Ferguson was a threat. That's why they sent army tanks down there and got them folks off the street.
Because
Black Lives Matter bubbled
because the
after
people
then.
organized. I'm talking about the people organized. I'm not talking about the group. I give two shits about the group. I'm talking about the threat of the people organizing, and that's was a threat. When you have to bring out the military, when you have to bring out the
but that was pre-Black Lives Matter, though.
Huh?
Ferguson was pre-Black Lives Matter.
But
you missed the point, man.
Organized,
Organized, not the organization itself. Not black, right? But the organization of what? Because what happened was when you're able to bring in young white women, young white men into that type of stuff, that it brings a threat to that system because now you got your kids out there doing this shit, right? What Becky doing out here with the, you know what I'm saying, with Ray and them, right? You know what I'm saying? That shit becoming different, man, right? That shit becomes different. Becky with the good hair and Ray them. Come on, man. Hey, what's more threatening? Ray and them and Becky or what?
I only got 2 more points. I'm gonna have to get rid. I got 2 points. The first point you were talking about earlier was just like the pressure being gone. That's because we integrated to their system. You was talking about going to their gym. It was a time when we had our own gyms. We didn't have to trace our feet to buy tennis shoes. We didn't have to go to back doors and get grilled cheese sandwiches and French fries. We had our own restaurants. We gave all of that up for integration. Martin Luther King figured that out later on after he met with Elijah Muhammad. He got some real truth in his life, and that's why they got rid of him. We are comfortable as long as we're integrating into their system. As soon as you open your restaurant and put 100% black owned on the front of it, that's when you become the problem. It's when we integrate with them that's fine. Our comfortability or that pressure that's been relieved was at the pretense of us losing everything that we built over 100 years post-slavery. The Major League Baseball
the worst
teams,
mistake
the
was
hotels, the movie theaters, the bus systems, the cab systems.
I got you. I agree with you 100%. That's the only damn thing I'm agreeing with you today.
See, the narrative with the integration, not what it was. It was about desegregation, not based on integration. What we were looking for was
they wanted our dollars.
We weren't trying to be in this. We try to get them. Look, man, we don't want to be having that treatment you're giving us. We don't want that shit. Allow us to be where we want to be.
And it was the money.
No.
The King,
you gotta
when
look
he
at
did
it.
Montgomery
In the
out
40s and the 50s, in the 40s and the 50s, they wanted that money because
they wanted our money.
Huh?
What Martin Luther King did in Montgomery, Alabama, if that was replicated all over the country in 5 years, it would have bankrupt several industries here.
And what they do? They organized and came together, right?
Came together. You was absolutely right. But they
That's
wanted
why
our money. That's
Black
what
Lives
integration
Matter
was
a
about our money.
threat because of the organization. They
Major League
organized.
Baseball was in the tanks in the 50s. Negro leagues. Go look at I got this Negro League book. Satchel Paige.
No, I agree with you 100% about the integration. I agree
they
with
killed
you.
us. That killed us, and it's not a bad thing because it's
But
like
they won't let us. They won't let us go back to that though.
No,
oh no, they'll set this place on fire before they let us go back to being on our own.
Why is that?
They never. Every time that we've been on our own, what happened to us, man?
We thrive.
They burned it down.
And what? But what happened? Why did it fail? It ain't based on what we done. What happened to us to make that situation? Rosewood, you know what I'm saying? You're looking at Tulsa, you're looking at Jackson Ward, you're looking at all the different places. Even you look at these places, when we were left alone, we thrive. We want to. But the moment that the other side of the tracks is not functioning where we functioning, it becomes problematic. Or on the road. Or
we got to
I want to do a highway to your shit.
That's doing more damage to us than the white man. See, we got to get to this buffer.
I agree. Yeah. I want to get rid of some of the motherfuckers. I want to get rid of some of them. They need to go.
Damage, but
yeah, they need to go. They got to go too. They got to go.
This administration, we don't need to say that we're looking for them to take care of us. They're taking our tax dollars. We shouldn't have to pool no money. They taking our tax dollars.
First of all, we got to get rid of.
We're not only entitled to reparations, we're entitled to an inheritance. We've been here from the day one. We entitled to land.
The Rutgers, them Stevens, them damn Sambo. We got to get. They got to go first. We got to take care of them first. We got to get them out of there. We got to remove the master loving people. They got to go first.
Well, that's gonna be getting rid of the Steve Harveys, the Black Caucus.
It don't matter. If you sucking and jugging, you gotta go. You gotta go, brother. You gotta go.
Can I just leave one last point? One last point. I gotta go. I promise you.
No, damn it, you're not leaving. No,
I got to go.
I gotta run my two guys. You know what I'm saying? But
not only are we owed reparations, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Not only are we not owed reparations, that's to repair for damages. We are owed an inheritance in this country. That's more than reparations.
It's our country.
They took hundreds and thousands of acres from us in this country.
That's it. I agree.
Even the whole slave trade. I think the Africans were brought in to blend with us that were already here. We were already on this soil. And if you just go back to the first migration of the early 1940s, in the South, they took hundreds and thousands of acres from fertile land and sent us to Detroit to build cars.
Right.
Because they was lynching and everybody was running out of fear.
But we're entitled to inheritance more than reparations.
I get my 40. Hey man, Keep your money. Give me my 40 acres and give me that mule, man. Me and that mule. Hey, man, I ride that mule to the goddamn hoods come
Sir,
off that
you
thing, man.
entitled
You know what I'm
to
saying?
more than
Listen.
40 acres of a mule. This country
let me say this.
generates about $30 trillion. You entitled to more than 40
Right.
acres in a mule, sir.
Hey,
Our
listen.
first reparations payments need to be in the trillions.
I do this. If there's 60 million black people in America, I'm being nice, right, with the number.
Right. I got you.
Multiply that times 40 acres, and then look at the acreage of the United States. You'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
No,
it
we
belongs
own
to us.
damn near
Yeah.
75% of it.
They owe us an
Yeah.
inheritance.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be ours.
That's more than 5%.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, but look,
it's
hey,
substantially a lot.
look, dog. Hey, man, I ain't got 40 acres. Hey, I ain't gotta be Greek. Give me 40 acres, dog. I can do a lot with 40 acres, dog. I can grow all kinds of shit, man. 40
But
acres.
You gotta think about it though. Black people don't have the land that we used to have. The days.
I
Like,
know.
I remember being a
Because
kid.
it was stolen.
I remember being a kid. You could find an older black person in the South got 100 acres of land. You won't. It's
Easily.
rare that you're gonna find a black person with 100 acres of land.
You lying, man.
The
You
next
right. You ain't
generation
lying.
will sell it. The next
ain't lying.
generation will sell it.
We'll sell it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Get hoodwinked. You know what I'm saying? Get
'Cause they all
hoodwinked on
about
that
money.
shit. Yeah,
That's
you're right.
though.
You know that's crazy to me that they could be all about money and don't understand wealth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What class they take away from us? What
Wow.
class they take away from us in school?
That you know what, and that was wow, Jerome. That did that. Wow, that was the man. That you said.
Well,
Wow.
the Negro, he can tell you the price of everything, but he can't tell
Wow,
you the price
Jerome.
of nothing. That's why they always talk
Right.
about receipts.
You just summed that shit up. Damn, Jerome, you just summed it up, man. Wow, that was it. That was it. You just summed it up because you summed it up. That wealth, that land was wealth, man. That was pretty wealth.
Yeah.
Pretty wealth, man. That
Well,
land is
because
yep. That was it.
This is
Y'all,
the thing
y'all
about
gonna
it.
have me up here
Well,
longer than I'm supposed
No,
to.
because we, for one, think about it, y'all. We all country. We all from them Carolinas.
Yeah.
Right.
Has any of us really sat there and not complained if we was on that farm working?
Hey, man, I was
We
cussing
should
that
have
man.
been
I was
on the
cussing.
farm.
Get me off this motherfucker. I was hot. I ain't like it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't like it. Goddamn.
Well,
Get
even if you
me off
wasn't
that
on your
motherfucker. I don't want to be
farm,
that. I ain't like it. I ain't gonna lie
but
to
I
you.
mean,
I ain't
even
like
if
it.
you wasn't on your farm farming, you could have been being a blacksmith, brick mason. There's a lot of things
Right.
we
you
didn't
done
want to
on that
learn.
land.
Right.
They took vocational schools.
Oh, that was major, man.
They took that out of schools
Hey,
back in.
If
Man.
we all go back to trade schools,
Woo.
all our young people, we kill America.
We can't
Man.
get back in trade school. You go to community college now. Don't we?
Yeah.
I went back a year ago and got an HVAC certification. I paid $1,200 for it. It was 1 year. I got an HVAC certification. Only people in there was white folks. I still got my corporate job that I got, but I got an HVAC certification. They won't even let us in the trades because they're not going to talk about it no more. They don't want us in the trades.
Because
It's union here in Philly. It's union.
Because with them trade school, now you start dealing with the government, with the bidding and everything. Now you start bidding for that money that has been going somewhere else. See, when you're trade school, you know what I'm saying, with the HVAC stuff like that, dog, you go to a government building, I want that contract for the HVAC. Hey man, you right. That vote, man, y'all hit some key notes right there, man.
They don't give the federal contracts to when, like you said, the model minorities. You think it's going to black?
Yeah.
You know, these white guys, these companies, and they get their wives on the paperwork.
Yes,
And
sir.
the wife is the minority.
Yes, sir.
And she gets that benefit, and we don't get it.
Right.
70% of that money went. 70% of that minority contract with the white women. So you know, what I'm saying?
And you know, it's crazy. She don't have to be but 51% of the company vote.
Yeah, the company. That's it. That's it.
Dude, she'll see they very deceptive. She'll come online and she'll round up our women and tell us how we need to be independent and strong.
Right.
And she'll be like, well, I only get paid 85% on the dollar that a man makes, but she's getting 85 cents and her husband's getting $1. The black woman's getting 67 cents. And she ain't got no man in the house.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. I agree, brother. You're right. Hey man, y'all hit some key points, man. I say Hey, I'm at the rollout, man. That's how I want to end this for myself, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Hey,
go ahead.
hey, I'm glad to come back in time, man. But I gotta dip, man. But
Okay.
my brother, pleasure talking to you, man. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
sir.
Yeah, Jerome, as always, man. Tell B I'm gone, man.
I will.
All right,
will.
man. Y'all
be
be easy,
safe.
man. All right, you
Jerome,
too.
I'm gonna give you 2 more minutes, man.
Go ahead.
2 minutes. I'm
Go
done
ahead.
with that Democratic Party. I will
Right.
stay at home before I vote for them again.
Right.
I will
I
not.
agree with you.
I will not support a program that has the Planned Parenthood bus at the DNC taking services. And we got the 92% is what they call them. Black women call themselves the 92% because that's the amount that voted for her and contributed. And the only thing she offered them was reproductive rights, and you giving all these other groups millions and millions of dollars. Not one policy did they have set up for quote unquote black women. Even if you didn't, I read her plan to black men because I got a TikTok page that's pretty thriving right now. I read her little policy that she had for black men. And when you read into it, it's not just for black men, it's just for minorities, it's for people who are in disenfranchised neighborhoods. That's anybody. That's somebody from Eastern Europe that has a pizza shop. He got access to the money.
Nobody had an agenda. Nobody has an agenda.
I'm
Neither
gonna tell you this about Trump that nobody wants to admit. You can call him whatever you want. I haven't heard. Now his supporters may say one thing, but I've never heard him come on TV and say black people are this, black people are that. I heard him come on TV and say, black people, your schools ain't no good. You've been on this party all this time, and you need to come to the other side. Now, I've heard him call Muslims terrorists. I heard him talk about the Chinese. I heard him talk about the Mexicans, call them murderers, rapists, and all that other kind of stuff, but I haven't heard him say one specific thing. When I think of Trump, I think of the Dallas Cowboys. I rock with the Cowboys. People don't like the
please,
fans.
no.
They don't like the
don't
fans.
disrespect them stars. I mean, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but goddamn, I'm not gonna put them on. You cannot call him fucking
like
Jerry
earlier.
Jones.
You was talking about Elon Musk. People don't like Elon Musk. Elon Musk, I don't agree with him having access because he's apartheid South African descendant. So I'm very wishy-washy of his real motives. It's no way he grew up in apartheid South Africa and still say, "Oh, I have an affinity for black people," because in South Africa, you couldn't have relationships with black people. That was against the law. You know what I mean? So I'm very wishy-washy of him. I think that he may have want to have good intentions. I don't agree with Elon Musk having access to our government because he's from South Africa, apartheid South Africa. I don't agree with that. But what I don't agree with is Democrats selling us fear. We watched at the inauguration, they had Mark Zuckerberg, Bezos, the guy from TikTok was there, and they were all at there. We're all still on their platforms, but we'll tell Tabitha Brown that has her seasons in Target that because Target doesn't want to do DEI, that we're going to boycott her. But we're not boycotting Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all these other platforms that make way more. We put pressure on Snoop and Nelly about performing. If anything, they're extracting.
No, Snoop different. Nope. Nelly,
It's just a performance. Nope. It don't mean nothing.
Nope, because you shouldn't have said it fucking 8 years ago. Come on.
True, he did say that. He did.
You can say Nelly, okay. Snoop, no, he fucked himself up. You shouldn't have said that shit back then.
In the grand scheme of things,
we're
more focused on canceling Snoop versus really looking at.
I still listen to Snoop. I don't cancel nobody.
Yeah, but I'm more worried. I'm more worried about a Steve Harvey that got more access and control. Steve Harvey has more influence than Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg can't influence a 60-year-old grandmother.
Did you turn around and listen to his 90-day date thing?
Who?
You took that advice?
Who? Steve Harvey?
Yeah.
I don't trust Steve Harvey because Steve Harvey's in the boule. He's bought and paid for. Just like we saw the numbers that came out.
He's an entertainer.
What then? I think about a Roland Martin. Roland Martin.
We
Roland
do that
Martin.
another show.
Roland Martin's on
show.
YouTube.
Boule.
Who?
We'll do the Boule on another show.
Yeah, the Boule, man. We see that's what I talked about earlier. We're in a black class war, and this is W.E.B. Du Bois versus Booker T. Washington because we have this is the first election you actually saw the Boule stick their head out. The Lynx. You never heard of most black people don't even know who the Lynx is. That's the most powerful black female organization in this country. That's a conglomerate of all of the female sororities. They actually stuck their heads out this election. I saw that. I was like, damn, I've never seen the Lynx put themselves out there like that. Most black people don't even know who the Lynx are. They are the female version of the Boule. No one.
Right.
They stuck their heads out. I was just like, oh, it's real. Like Amanda Seals, she come out and say, well, I don't know why I got fired because Kathy Hughes is a AKA. You think she ain't supporting Kamala Harris? Are you talking crazy? Yeah, you about to get fired. You about to get fired. That only makes sense. That's just like you and Jerome on this show. Jerome say, I'm getting ready to run for president. One of your homeboys that you hang out that work for you say, F Jerome out. He got to go.
I'm fighting him.
He got to go. And that's the
Gotta
thing.
go.
The working we this election showed me that they will turn our women on us. Go back online. They turned our women on us. And nobody wants to talk about that.
As long as mine didn't turn on me, I'm good.
Whether people agree with it or not, they turned our women on us.
Hey, let me say this. It's been I'm right at 2 hours in.
Oh,
yeah.
Great show
On this shit.
Hey, great show, man. We got to get back on. Russ, you got to get back on with
Russ,
it,
stop trying to be devil's advocate. That shit don't work.
I got to do it because
I love it, Russ. I love it.
If I don't, man, we will be lost out here, man. Don't let Trump keep us from getting what's owed to us.
Listen,
I don't care less about the system. It's the whole government. That's my problem.
Russ, drop something on us. Drop a minute on us.
The last
been
minute,
doing that all damn day.
I'm gonna say this. They think about it. If Joe Biden dropped out on July 21st of 2024, when I saw him do his farewell street speech, I thought about it. I said, if he wouldn't have dropped out, black folks would have voted for him, dude. We're lost out here. Trump can ready to turn this thing around. Just sit back and watch.
I guarantee
you heard it here first.
I guarantee
all
you.
Right. B?
Yeah. It was always fun kicking it with y'all, man.
What'd you say?
I said it's always fun hanging out with y'all, man.
Oh, man, love you. Kevin.
First time I disagree with Russell. I'm not feeling that. I feel
Trump
like
is the light.
Huh? The light of what?
The reason I believe he's the light is because I don't trust when people try to get us all on one page for voting. Get us all on one page for what y'all talking about. Business and health and money and buying land.
I'm just been waiting and I don't see him doing anything. He's just enriching his own pockets.
Roland Martin to get us on the phone to get that $20 million and go buy
Did you donate
100,000 acres?
Did you donate?
Go ahead,
donate?
Sir, I'll tell you like I tell everybody that hate on me, I've been rolling with the Don since 2015, sir. Ain't no shame in my game. I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden who's going to tell you that black people are unable to be rehabilitated, that he don't want his kids around us, and that he architect the crime bill. Trump's just a politician. He's just a businessman, dude. He ain't done nothing against black folks.
At what he does. But keep going.
Yeah, I roll with the Don, sir.
All right. Go ahead, B. Close out. Closing
this shit out.
Close out, B.
Got me in my fucking feelings right now.
Don't do it. Don't let them get you like that. They're gonna take your tax money and give it to the immigrants out there.
Do it regardless. They're gonna do it regardless. I don't have no control over that.
I hope ICE come and round them all up, because I'm telling you, last summer they was talking trash about us. Called us lazy in there because they thought Vice President Harris was going to win. They thought she was going to win. Now they hide in bathtubs like Will Smith in I Am Legend with a shotgun and a German Shepherd.
So well, let me go ahead and do my piece because y'all be going on all day.
Did you just say I am legend?
Hey man, it's a great show. You know, great family vibe, man. You know, we go at each other. We go at each other, but we love each other, man.
Y'all good
we,
people.
we respect each other's views.
Respect.
One, now I didn't understand it, but we got Luka in with the Lakers. So
fuck. God
yeah.
Woo.
We'll get back on that
Football
another day.
season ain't over with yet.
It is for me.
About that shit next week.
Yeah, it's over for me. The Cowboys ain't playing.
It's
That
over
shit
for
was
me.
over week for y'all in week 3.
Well, you got one more week, B. Hold on. But
I gotta hold on
good,
to it.
man. Like I said, we'll definitely gonna be a continuation to this discussion. So B,
Brian, I'm gonna put in your chat. I'm on TikTok. Permission to speak freely. My page gets shut down every other week because I black out on there. TikTok shuts me down every week, but I'll put it in. I'll send you a message. Send you one, Jerome. If you're on TikTok, you can follow
I need that. I want to see.
Yeah. Send it to us. Send it to us.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I got y'all's link tonight.
Oh yeah, you got to plug it here on our YouTube, so that's good. So we're gonna put some stuff together. Hey, it's been real, y'all. Peace to the family.
Peace, y'all. Peace. Hey, just love one another. Respect.
Yeah, y'all
you
good
respect
people.
my
Man.
boundaries. I respect your boundaries.
Right.
Y'all don't call me
no
a coon or Sambo like they do on TikTok. They call me a coon, a Sambo, a sellout, and everything. I tell them it's the difference between being a house Negro and a Negro in the house. I'll grind glass up in your food.
I know that's right.
Difference between being a house Negro and a Negro in the house, I will grind glass up in your food.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we back, but damn, we came back shooting.
Yeah. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace out.
All right, peace
brother.
out.